Zoroastrianism. This religion neither buries the body nor cremates it. Rather, it considers the body impure. After death, the corpse is placed on a tower of silence. This is a high structure built upon the mountains. The body is left exposed for the air and vultures to consume. The goal is to avoid polluting the sacred elements earth, fire, and water after the vultures eat the flesh. The bones are gathered in a central pit within the tower. The body never touches the soil. No coffins or shrouds are used. Rituals continue in complete silence. Without loud weeping, they believe that nature performs the final act of purification. This type of ecological disposal of corpses is considered one of the strangest burial customs in the world. Islam burial rites in Islam are based on respecting and honoring the deceased body in a simple and direct manner. The deceased is washed ritually and gently. Purity and modesty are observed throughout. After washing, it is shrouded in white garments free from any ornamentation, so that the human returns to their Lord in a state of humility. The funeral prayer is performed without bowing or prostration, but by praying for the deceased mercy and forgiveness. The deceased is buried in a side niche within the grave, lying on their right side. Facing the Qibla, burial is preferred to be swift and without delay, unless necessary out of respect for the body. Soil is placed over the grave without excessive building or decoration. Prayers are recited over the grave without excessive screaming or wailing. No forbidden tools or rituals are used because simplicity is part of the faith. The deceased is left in peace, and prayers are offered for them without further intervention with the body after burial. Christianity burial rituals in Christianity vary between denominations, but all share the idea of resurrection and life after death. The body is washed and dressed in clean clothes that express purity and readiness for the eternal home. The body is placed in the coffin respectfully, with some religious symbols, such as the cross prayers are held in the church, where the priest recites texts reminding of mercy and salvation. The body is sprinkled with holy water in some denominations. As a symbol of purification, the body is buried in graveyards. It may be inside a wooden or stone coffin. Depending on traditions, final prayers are read at the grave for the person to rest in peace. Flowers are placed over the grave as a symbol of new life after demise. Clothing and hymns may differ between Orthodox, Catholic, and Protestant denominations. Respect for the body remains constant, because it is considered a sacred temple created in the image of God. Judaism. Judaism focuses on the speed of burial and the necessity of returning the body to the earth without delay. The deceased is washed in a simple manner called tahara, to prepare them for the world to come. The body is shrouded in simple white cloth, without any ornamentation because all are equal before God. Coffins are not used by some sects, except for health or legal necessity. The Catholic prayer is recited, which glorifies God and seeks mercy for the deceased. The body is buried directly in the ground, with the grave completely covered. Loud wailing, scratching, or slapping is not permitted. Rather, calmness and reverence are preferred. A mourning period with specific stages is practiced, such as Shiva and Slusham. Placing many flowers on the grave is forbidden. Instead, small stones are placed as a symbol of permanence. Burial is considered a sacred act called Chesed Shelamet, meaning true kindness. Hinduism. Hinduism relies on returning the soul to the cycle of life. Through cremation, instead of burial, the body is washed and covered with colorful fabrics and flowers, as a sign of purity. The body is placed on wood in the open air, in a place designated for cremation. The eldest son lights the fire as the spiritual head of the family. It is believed that cremation helps the soul release from the body quickly after burning is complete. The ashes are collected and scattered in a sacred river. Like the Ganges, the deceased's family observes a short fast, and they refrain from any celebrations. Touching the body is forbidden once cremation begins, as it has started a spiritual journey. The rituals are accompanied by mantra chants to reassure the soul. Burial is used only for children and monks, as they are considered pure from the start. Buddhism. Burial methods in Buddhism vary between internment and cremation. Depending on the country and sect, the body is viewed merely as a temporary vessel for the soul. Therefore, it holds no great sanctity. The body is washed calmly and dressed in simple clothes, without ornamentation. Buddhist teachings are read beside the body, to ease the soul's transition to a higher level. In some regions, the body is cremated. In other regions, it is buried within mountains or temples. The family attends quietly without wailing. As excessive emotion hinders the soul, water or food is offered as charity for the soul of the deceased. Images of Buddha are hung or candles are lit in the area. No large tomb is built. It is sufficient to place a small plaque with the deceased's name. Some groups leave bodies for birds in the mountains, as a form of surrender to nature. Sikh rites are very similar to Hindu ones, but are simpler and less complex. The deceased is washed with clean water and wrapped in white cloth, without ornamentation. The body is usually cremated in a simple religious ceremony. With recitations of the Guru, Granth Sahib, a senior family member, lights the fire. After cremation, the ashes are collected and placed in a river. There are no images or statues during the rituals. The Sikhs reject excessive symbolism. Long mourning rituals are not held. Instead, the focus is on reminding people to accept God's will. In some regions, the body is buried instead of cremated for reasons legal or sanitary. Arms are given to the poor after the rituals. The rituals always remain simple and free from exaggeration. Taoism. In Taoism, death is considered a transition of the Tao from one form to another. The body is washed and sometimes dressed in luxurious clothes. Depending on the person's status, perfumes and incense are used to keep the soul comfortable. Special texts are read to guide the soul during the journey. The deceased is buried in an ornate wooden coffin, which can be very large. The burial site is chosen carefully according to feng shui principles. Food offerings are placed before the grave, so the deceased gains energy. Papers called heaven money are burned for the deceased to use in the afterlife. Mourners wear white cloth instead of black. Rituals continue for many days. According to family traditions, the Maori, the body is washed and decorated with traditional warrior tattoos. The body is displayed at home for several days so everyone can say goodbye. Food is placed beside the deceased as a mark of respect. War dances called haka are performed in front of the body. After burial, the bones are exhumed a year later to be cleaned again. The bones are placed after cleaning in a sacred place. It is believed this second purification facilitates the soul's transition. The body is not buried forever, from the first time as in other cultures. Mourning continues for a long time, filled with visits and prayers. Spiritual rituals intertwine with the tribe's martial heritage. Voodoo. In voodoo, it is believed the soul may turn into a zombie if not buried correctly. The body is washed with special, magical rituals to ward off evil spirits. Coins or herbs are placed in the deceased's mouth to protect the soul. The body is often buried at night to avoid black magic. The utensils used by the deceased are broken, so the soul does not return to them. Strange dances are performed around the grave. Alcoholic beverages are poured on the ground as an offering. Drums are used to attract protective spirits. Some believe it is necessary to tie the body with ropes to prevent it from rising from the dead. These customs are considered some of the strangest burial methods in the world.